that.
Yeah.
And look, we're not going to go on pretending as if this gigantic hoodie sweater is not on our set. There's a gigantic hoodie sweater on our set, and it's there for a reason. We're selling
I believe
them.
it's referred to as a sweatshirt.
It's a hoodie sweater, though.
Hoodie sweatshirt, or a hoodie. It's not a sweater.
How is it not a sweater?
I mean, the same way it's not pants.
Am I right or am I wrong?
You're wrong.
Oh.
I mean, the same way it's not,
So
shoes.
Wait. So I'm not allowed to refer to this as a sweater? It has to be a sweatshirt?
Yes.
That's
All right.
Or
you
you could-
learn something new every day.
Or you can stop at hoodie.
Yeah, because, well, if it didn't have a hood, you can't call it a hoodie, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to call it a sweater. Because sweatshirts, I'm
You have to
sorry.
call it sweatshirt, right?
Sweaters are what Bill Cosby wore.
Right.
They're like
Right.
knit and they have bigger holes in them, and you wear them like in the wintertime or over like, whatever. It's that type of thing. When it's like something you exercise in or just chill out in the house.
I don't think we
it's
need
a
to
sweatshirt.
explain it. Everyone on the planet except Anna knows what we're talking about.
Well, look, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, sometimes we just have weird gaps, and this is a little gap for you. It's not a serious one. Doesn't matter. But that's a sweatshirt.
I'm really hoping that there are other people out there who make that mistake because I feel like an idiot.
Well, I mean, it's an idiotic thing to think, but it's so unimportant that it's irrelevant. And I'm sure there are other people, but I mean, you got 1,000 people. You want to find 6 other people who think the same nonsense as you. I guess it'll make you feel better.
Of course
No,
it will. Of
it's
course
fine.
it will.
I think other people might refer to it as a sweater, like my mom, for example.
She would refer to it as a sweater?
Yeah, she's like 130.
Anyway, we're selling these things.
Yeah.
I think for $20 each. Am I right or am I
No,
wrong?
that's too cheap. I'm not even trying to sell it. Is that right? $20
I don't know.
each?
I just made that up.
We're giving them away at $20 each. How much are they? Where's Dave? Dave, go to get a salad? They can't be $20 each. Those things are more expensive than that.
They might be more than that, then.
Very thick.
It's thick.
Oh.
It's luxurious. I have one for myself.
You do?
I wear it sometimes.
What have we done? What the hell have I done?
Disaster.
What have I done? Grab that.
We focus way too much attention on the sweater. We
Grab
have
that,
news to talk about.
Grab that. Grab the sleeve of this sweater. All right, there we go.
All right. So, have we had enough of the sweater? Can we get rid of it now?
I think we've all. Well, we'll take it for this segment. We've now maybe got a YouTube segment here because you don't know what it's called.
No, but seriously, I want to get to the stories. We can't.
Let's get to the stories. Let's go. We can have it there for the stories.
But it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Why does it make you uncomfortable?
I don't know.
Just
Okay,
imagine
fine.
it were a banner advertising the show, like just a flag. What's
right.
the first story?
The first story, actually, it's an update that JR found for me, and it has to do with a statement that was released by Target CEO Greg Steinheffel.
Sure, if you say so.
And he is apologizing for the fact that Target donated $150,000 to an extreme right-winger in Minnesota. I want to read you his apology.
Okay.
Let me know if you think that it is a good apology.
All right.
While I firmly believe that a business climate conducive to growth is critical to our future, I realize our decision affected many of you in a way I did not anticipate, and for that I am genuinely sorry. He added, the diversity of our team is an important aspect of our unique culture and our success as a company, and we did not mean to disappoint you, our team, or our valued guests.
Well, so maybe they just thought, okay, this is a more business-friendly guy, and we're going to give the money to him. Maybe they didn't realize the other part.
I actually think that's what the case was, because this guy, he's for lowering taxes or cutting taxes, and I think that's what Target was focusing on. Maybe some people knew about his...
Well, it's a big story in Minnesota. You'd have to be, but I mean, maybe they didn't. I don't know. Anyway, they're apologizing. The question is, okay, what now?
I mean, that's all that's going to happen. They've already donated the money. They're apologizing.
They give $150,000 to the other guy. Call it even.
That's a good solution to the problem. But do you think that they're actually going to do that?
I don't know. But it's we were talking about the boycott, and it had some effect. The stories and it had some effect. They're at least responding to it. Well,
Right.
I think it's important to see what the next step is.
Now, I agreed to the boycott, and I'm
Hesitantly,
but I agreed to it because I think it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And I think I'm going on strong.
you're going to continue with the
I've
boycott?
gone 24 hours without walking into a Target. It's
No.
extremely difficult, but I think I'm going to survive.
Wow, 24. What was just occurring to me, this is what state, where is this? Where
This is in Minnesota.
That's where our Target is. It gets, in the winter, like even into the fall, it gets cold in Minnesota.
Right.
Really cold. You know what they could use?
Oh, they can use a TYT sweatshirt.
There you go.
Not
There
a
you go.
sweater, a sweatshirt.
Bundle up for either, available now for you for either 20, 25, 30, 35, 44, 48, some amount of dollars. This could be yours.
By the way, yeah, and let me just say one thing. People always say this when they're trying to sell stuff, but we're being serious. We have a limited amount of hoodies.
Yeah, we have like 4.
We do, and we're trying to get rid of them, so please.
No, but they're very nice. They're thick. They're nice. Oh, I can barely lift it. Wow, it is really thick. Wow, smells good too. So anyway, there you go. If you're in Minnesota or anywhere else, pick up that hoodie. It was really thick. Like you could do curls with that.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
All right, I want to get to a story that we didn't get to yesterday, and
Yeah.
it has to do with videotaping police officers. Is that considered a crime?
Not police officers videotaping you, but you videotaping cops.
Yes. So let's say a police officer is issuing a ticket or a police officer is in the middle of arresting someone else. If you videotape that police officer doing whatever he's doing in public, are you breaking a law? Could you spend 16 years in jail for wiretapping?
Wow, that's remarkable. But I mean, when has the videotaping of police officers ever made any difference?
Only about 1 million times.
Yeah, I mean, you know, most recently or the one that occurs to me is in New Orleans. But there was that case with that Rodney King fella
Right.
out here.
A huge case.
Right, and you know, it's funny, during the Rodney King case, which, 91, Rodney King?
Rodney King,
think
yes,
that's
that
right.
was in 91.
You know, it was a big deal to have a video camera available. And you had to have like a big, you know, and be like, you know, it was like, you know, all these things, and and now of course you just got your phone.
You have your little
know?
smartphone.
You have your little smartphone, and you crank it up. But cops are worried about it now.
Of course, as they should be. They're worried about it because they've been caught in so many different cases using force that is unnecessary and doing things that are obviously
I don't
illegal.
know why we have that picture of what that guy do. Just a cop with a gun. I mean, if you're about to shoot somebody, it was just like minding his own business. But anyway, you know, it's so there's this case in Maryland. This guy's an Air National Guard staff sergeant.
Yes, and his
you
name
mentioned
is
the 16 years.
Yes, his name is Anthony Grabber, and he was stopped for speeding. He was pulled over for speeding, and he was on his motorcycle. And while the cop was issuing the ticket, he was videotaping the incident. And the cop was upset about it and decided to arrest him. And now he is facing 16 years in jail for wiretapping.
Yeah, it's a remarkable story. He put the video up on YouTube.
Yes.
No one really thinks he'll get the 16 years. Everyone seems to agree it's a huge stretch to charge him with wiretapping. But of course, the wiretapping laws in Maryland and in many states, most states, are that both parties have to know that the audio both parties have to consent to it, and the officer obviously didn't consent to it. Under that, it's the audio part that enables them to prosecute him for wiretapping. But it's obviously just a case of police attempting to use their prosecutorial powers
Right.
Of the government to just keep people from taping.
Right. Yeah, of course, that's obvious. And look, that whole wiretapping technicality, no one's buying that either, because of the fact that if you are in a public place,
Yeah, big
Yeah.
stretch. I mean, public place, public official.
of course.
I mean, couldn't be more of a public official. You literally work for the public. There was that great video in New York, which you guys may have shown, which has gone around the internet. It's been seen millions of times. Jesus, you could find that pretty quickly. That may be the most recent one of the National Bike Day, or whatever the hell that is, where
Yes, we talked about that story.
and that cop, man, he just goes after that guy on the bike. He just steps to him, and he's like, "Oh, the cop, he came right to me." And he took like 8 steps for him, and so,
Pushed him off his bike.
yeah, and I believe that cop got fired. As well he should. Viewed more than 3 million times on YouTube, it says. That did. You know, obviously, and the interesting thing is, to me, just quickly to wrap this story up, is that, I mean, there's also, forget the law for a minute, there's just an obvious equity argument here. I mean, for crying out loud, they tape you. I mean, they got the things on the cars. They're taping you. And they're taping you more and more with cops actually being mic'd and having microphones and the audio portion of that. And, of course, keep in mind, at the time they're arresting you, you haven't been convicted of anything. I mean, you may well be innocent, and they're stopping you, and they're taping you, and there's no consent. But they're, of course, they're protected under the thought that it's the suspicion of a crime. And but, I mean, of course you should be able to tape the cops. It's ridiculous to suggest that you can't.
Right.
I think, yeah.
Some cops just don't want any accountability, and they don't want to face any consequences for their actions. But I love the fact that we're able to videotape them, and I hope that some weird law doesn't get passed where we're not allowed to tape them. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
But anyway, this guy's not going to get 16 years.
He's not going to get 16 years.
But he's being prosecuted right now.
Yeah, which I think is insane.
And there are other instances where, like, a mother was walking with her son, and the cops stop him, and she tapes it, and they grab the camera and threaten her with arrest because she's taping her son being arrested on the city streets of, like, you know, in Boynton Beach, Florida. Nothing happens dangerous in Boynton Beach, Florida. I've been there. It's where my mom is, basically. Come on.
Oh, so is this the...
Yeah, no, this is not it. This is something else. That was that guy there. The New York one is the bike one where that guy just, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, this might be the case.
Yeah,
is
this is the
Is this the
case.
Maryland case, Jesus? Jesus doesn't know, but it could be.
Oh, it is. It is. Okay, let's turn up the audio.
Do we have audio? No. So anyway, that's that case, and you can see why the cop wouldn't want that. No real reason to do that at gunpoint. Didn't he? But you know what? I mean, cops. I take that back. I don't know. They're the ones risking their lives, not me. But you can't prevent the guy from video. By the way, if you feel threatened by it, you can tell the guy to stop videotaping. You know, and you can have him put the. One of the issues is that cop was in plain clothes, and he came out with a gun, and you don't know what the hell's going on. But either way, so if the cop is threatened, he tells you to put it down, but you can't. I mean, if the cop is telling you, you have to follow instructions of the police officer, and if that involves putting your camera down, then it involves putting your camera down. You know? By the way, that guy's driving like a Toyota
No,
Corolla.
I mean, look, that cop got out of his car holding a gun already, so no, don't put your camera down. You have to videotape this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would put my camera down if a cop got out of his car holding a gun.
On that video, how the fuck are you supposed to know he's a cop?
Yeah, well, that's
Like,
one of the things the guy
That's
says.
what I'd be like, if I was doing that, I'd be like, fuck that, I wouldn't have stopped. Like,
Yeah, that's just some.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's one thing that Anthony Graber. That's one thing he says. Like, what the hell are you? How did I know what the hell was going on? I mean, again, not many cops drive, you know, Celicas.
All right. We have a carnival attraction in Pennsylvania that is being investigated by the Secret Service.
So, of course.
And the reason why it's being investigated is because it is a target shooting game that involves a image that looks just like Barack Obama.
Just what are you doing? Have a different image.
No. But what I love about this story is the person who created it, or the amusement park owner, said, no, we didn't mean it to be Barack Obama. We just wanted a target that looked like a man.
Yeah.
Okay, except he's holding a scroll that says health bill.
Yeah, it's a black guy in a suit, and he's holding a thing that says health bill. It could have been anybody. Yeah. I don't know who it is. And we're inviting people to shoot at him. This guy's name is Irvin Good Jr.
Right.
Seldom have people had a more ironic name. $1 per shot, or you make the sound economical purchase of $5 for 6 shots. I mean, that just only makes sense. Cindy Wofford runs the Secret Service in Philly. Agents are looking into the game. We'll determine if there were any direct or indirect threats to the president, and which says we take these kind of things very seriously. They do. I mean, I think this guy's just a conservative clown and thought he was doing something amusing, but you can't do that.
Can we put that picture back up again?
Yeah.
I think I drew people like this back when I was in 3rd grade. I mean, the one thing that he does have in his argument is that looks nothing like Obama in his face.
Totally.
'Cause I think he had his 8-year-old daughter draw it. What
Yeah.
the hell is that? It looks scary. It looks like those what are those Snorks or something like that? One of those old cartoons. It's very scary. I'd be worried about that picture.
Well, if you can see, it has antennas, right? The photo has antennas, and that's supposed to indicate that he's like an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien.
Oh, right, because he's not born here. Right.
They're
right.
such clowns.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give JR this. It does not look like Barack Obama.
Right.
But it obviously is supposed to be Barack Obama. And somebody came and saw it on day 1, hour 1, minute 3, and was like, what the? And called the Secret Service. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a great mystery.
All right, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, I have a Sarah Palin story involving censorship.
Oh, all right. Good. I like that.
We'll be back on the Young Turks.
Young Turks, everybody. Ben and Anna with you. What else we got, Anna? This is Dan Quayle's son.
Yes, Ben Quayle. He's a Republican congressional candidate for Arizona, and he got into a bit of trouble because of a mailer he sent out that featured him playing with 2 little girls and saying that he wants to create a better life for his family. So
Right.
it looked like those 2 little girls were his daughters, but they weren't his daughters.
Right.
Turns out that they were his nieces.
So his opponent
Yes.
went nuts and accused him of renting a family.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. We actually have a video on this, so I want to go to the video because it has details and tidbits that we might be missing. So
All right.
let's go to that in a little bit. But the reason why this turned into such a big story is because his opponent, and I'm missing his name, Vernon Parker, came out and he made a big deal about it.
Right.
Yeah, and rent a family, and then, of course, Ben Quayle was unhappy with it. Let's go to the video.
Family Matters takes center stage in Arizona's 3rd congressional district race. It all centers around a mailer sent out by Republican candidate Ben Quayle. It shows Quayle with 2 little girls and a message about raising his family. Some people say the mailer implies that those are his kids. Well, they're not. We did catch up with him and the girls tonight as well, and their side of the story.
To call my nieces a rent-a-family is pretty obnoxious to me and to my family.
Congressional candidate Ben Quayle reacting after being criticized for renting a family for a campaign mailer. The ad shows Quayle with 2 small girls and a message that he intends to raise his family in Arizona's 3rd district. Critics say it's misleading voters into thinking those are his kids. They're not.
First, a picture-perfect candidacy. Or is it?
The story made national news. Quayle says it's all trumped up. The girls are his nieces.
They are my family. They're my extended family. We have dinner with them every Sunday night. I babysit them.
We caught up with Quayle and his nieces.
They want to clear their name. They are not a rent-a-family. They are my family.
Quayle says there was never any intention to mislead anyone. His opponent, Republican Vernon Parker, is one of those critical of the ad. On Wednesday, he posted the controversy on his website, questioning the accuracy of other items from the Quayle campaign.
My wife and I plan on starting a family right here in Phoenix very soon. We just got married in April. And that's what the mailers were about. And to say that it's otherwise some sort of nefarious plot is a little ridiculous.
Now, both Quayle and Parker are running for the congressional seat being left open by Congressman John Shadegg.
So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're his nieces, so obviously you can't really say they're not his family. But the mailer is obviously designed to have you think they're his kids.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. Look, I hate this. I hate how any type of political candidate has to make it seem like they're like this great family man and, oh, look at him. He's so good with his kids and he's got a beautiful wife. Who gives a shit? Like, what are his political ideologies? Like, why don't you share some of that? You know, I'm sure he does, but I hate that these mailers are a given in any political campaign. I don't care about your kids. I don't care if they're your nieces. I don't care if your wife is hot. I don't care if you're a good family man. I don't care if you cheated on her yesterday. It's none of my business.
Well, it matters if your wife is hot. I mean, let's be honest. That's important.
You know what? And with that thought process, That's the reason why I don't care that they're not his kids. If he rented some random kids, if they're the neighbors down the street, I don't care. He's just trying to say he's about family, which I don't know. I don't know anything about his positions and all that stuff. So really, I think the guy who's bringing this up, it kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth about him. Why are we focusing on this again? Mm-hmm. If he have better policies, talk about those. Why are you talking about the fact that he has his nieces up there with him? It just says, I don't like that part of it. I think big deal. It's his nieces or whatever.
Right.
You know, I don't care.
And he realized he was in the wrong, and he came out with an apology, and he says that he takes back those comments or whatever. But then he says, but it was a little misleading that you used your nieces. Like,
Yeah.
you tried to make it seem like they were your kids.
No story that I've read in some time, and don't take this personally, do I not care about more in the sense that it reflects so poorly on everyone.
Right.
Like, I'm agreeing with you. Like, yeah, okay, you used your nieces. What, it didn't occur to you that people were going to think they were your kids? And you, the other guy, what difference does it make? And you should have found out who they were first. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's nieces, and who cares? And who cares about the lot of you? You know? Mm-hmm. Enough. Ben Quayle.
Ben Quayle.
And his dad.
What are your thoughts on his dad?
Well, his dad was his dad. I mean, my favorite thought on his dad is that Mike Dukakis led his dad in 1988 Mike Dukakis led George H.W. Bush by, like, I think 17 points in 1988 after the Democratic Convention. And then really the only thing that happened between then and the election was the Republican Convention, where George H.W. Bush picked Dan Quayle, who's in Sarah Palin territory as far as intellectual capability. And somehow Mike Dukakis blew that lead. I mean, that's the only thing that happened, was that, you know, deer in headlights Dan Quayle got picked to be vice president. And then we're left with this. And Dan Quayle's attempt to run for president, I guess in 1996, demonstrated that very clearly. Okay. All right, what else we got?
All right. Dozens of the richest businessmen in the United States are planning on donating half of their riches to charity, either during their lifetime or after they pass.
Okay.
And this is a campaign that was started by Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, and they are calling on all billionaires to donate their money, 50% of it. I think this is actually a pretty cool story. I don't understand why they're being so nice.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Ted Turner donates money like crazy. You know, he's also the largest private landholder in the United States. Related to a story yesterday, Warren Buffett, you know, has been separated but not divorced from his wife for like 25 years.
Right.
And lives with this new woman, and has for some time, and they send Christmas cards out, I believe, the three of them.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a day.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think if I'm remembering that story from yesterday correctly. Yeah, it's nice. 50% of their fortunes. It just gives you an idea of how big those fortunes are.
Oh, gigantic.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, Bill Gates is worth, I think it was like $53 billion.
Unbelievable.
And what I love about him is, look, I'm sure his kids are going to inherit some of that money, but he's not going to really give them all of his money. He's not going to give them a gigantic amount of it. Like, he doesn't believe in that. He believes in making his kids work.
Do you think you'd be irritated if you were Bill Gates' kid and he were worth $53 billion and then the will came out and you only got $1 billion?
Would I be upset?
Yeah, and you were like, he's got 53, he gave me 1/53 of his wealth. Such a freaking prick of a father.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset. I'm not going to lie. No, I can't even imagine coming close to that, so I can't give a straight answer.
Are you going to inherit some money from your folks?
Yeah, like $12. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course, I will. I probably will. But, you know, I had a very modest childhood, and I live an extremely modest lifestyle now with my parents.
You know what you should do? You still live at home, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's that working out?
It's working.
Weren't you going to get a place?
Yes.
What happened there?
It didn't happen.
What, all the places filled up?
You know what? In our post-game show today, are you staying for the post-game?
Yeah, I can stay.
Okay, great. In the post-game show, I'll tell you why I haven't moved out yet.
Okay.
Okay? It's super personal, and it's for our members. You guys will enjoy it.
Okay, that seems fair enough. You know what you should do if you need some extra money? You should make a porn tape.
I was thinking about it. I
Yeah.
want to break into Hollywood the same way Kim Kardashian did.
Right.
I mean, she's such a phenomenal success now that I have to follow in her footsteps. How could I not?
But it will be tough because if you make a porn tape, Lawrence Fishburne will be disappointed in you.
But then we'll work it out later
Well,
because he'll realize that it's for the best and it's a positive thing.
Yeah, this is a great story. Gates worth $53 billion, Warren Buffett worth $47 billion. As many as 40 of these guys they're looking to get. 20% since they launched the campaign in June. I like it that it says, since launching the campaign in June, Buffett, Gates, and his wife, Melinda, have spoken to about 20% of the wealthiest people, 70, 80 billionaires. And then it just says, in a bid to persuade them to give away their fortunes. Like, how does that conversation go? Yeah, well, so why'd you want to talk to us? Well, this is funny. You know all that money you have? I think you should give it away. I wonder at what point, if you're a billionaire, you start thinking that it's an outrageous request.
Yeah.
Like, does it come as a percentage or a set figure? Like, if you have $53 billion, you're worth 53. You, of course, don't have $53 billion. But if you're worth $53 billion, obviously $1 billion is just 1/53rd. You can give away $1 billion and still be the world's richest man or second richest man. You still have $52 billion. It's largely irrelevant. The flip side is you've just given away $1 billion, and you might still think it's still $1 billion. I mean, you didn't get to have $53 billion by giving away $1 billion here or there. So I don't know. I'm always curious how you think that. You know, when everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's LeBron. He by sided with the Heat. I mean, yeah, he took a little less money, so he took whatever it is, $6 million less over the course of the contract. It's a drop in the bucket for him." Yeah, it's also $6 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a drop in the bucket. It's $6 million or whatever it was. It matters. It's money. It's not nothing.
How much did LeBron sign for? What's his contract? Do you
I think
know?
he signed. I think they all got $16 million a year, and there's no state taxes in Florida. But leaving that out for a second, they all took less money than they would have got.
There are no state taxes in Florida?
No state income tax in Florida. All of a sudden.
All of a sudden, Florida's looking mighty nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we have time to squeeze one more in? One short one in? Is there a short one?
Actually, I do have a short one that I want to squeeze in. It
right.
has to do with a burglar who was arrested for burglarizing a home. And when he got out of jail, he attempted to burglarize the same home for the second time.
Really? So like he gets out of jail, goes right back to the same home. In a sense, it's brilliant.
Not really, because he got caught for the second time. And when he got caught, there's the clown right there, Gerald Maxwell. Doesn't that sound like a rich person's name?
A little bit, Gerald Maxwell.
When
You want me to give away my fortune?
When he got caught, he told the police officer, I was going back there just to leave a thank you note because I'm the guy who burglarized this place last year. I just got out of jail.
Well, I mean, the reason I say it could be good because it really plays into, that's just what they'll be expecting me to do. I don't know. So, but I guess the police don't believe that to be true.
Of course not, because when they arrived at the home, they saw that there were multiple drawers open.
He didn't know where to leave the note. Where is the best place to put this thank you note? In this drawer next to the jewelry, or this place next to the silver, or in the safe?
Maybe he thought double jeopardy would apply here.
Right, exactly. Can't be convicted of the same crime twice. All right, Anna, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Political Hour coming up next. Good stuff about Vaughn Walker, the judge who issued that landmark ruling yesterday overturning Prop 8. And we'll also we'll actually get to the bottom of some of the legal issues about it. Dan Hamilton, a law professor on legal history, constitutional law from the University of Illinois, will join us. And we'll hear from Pat Buchanan, Michael Savage, Rush Limbaugh, about why Judge Walker has no business deciding the case because he might be a gay. All right, stay with us. Young Turks, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz in for Cenk. Thanks for joining us. Cenk, one more day tomorrow at MSNBC, 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific. So good previous hour there with Anna, some good stories. Who knew that Dan Quayle had a son running for Congress there in Arizona? So I want to talk today, mostly we're going to be focusing on yesterday's decision, a couple of other quick stories that we will get to. Yvonne Walker's decision, obviously a big victory for gay rights yesterday. I think interesting, a fairly tepid reaction from the Obama administration. The Obama administration officially saying, of course, they didn't support Proposition 8, but they also, of course, don't support same-sex marriage, opposing same-sex marriage. President has spoken out in opposition to Prop 8 because it's divisive and discriminatory. He will continue to promote equality for LGBT Americans. But Politico finds a White House official who asked not to be named, who reminds everybody very quickly that the president doesn't support same-sex marriages, is opposed to same-sex marriages. Quote, he supports civil unions, doesn't personally support gay marriage, though he supports repealing the Defense of Marriage Act and has opposed divisive and discriminatory initiatives like Prop 8 in other states. I mean, it's so full of circling an issue that it's, I mean, it's artful. I'm against Prop 8, but I'm not for gay marriage. But I'm against all things discriminatory, but don't get married if you're both dudes. But Prop 8 was divisive, so this is a great day, but not that great a day. Do I have everybody covered? Have I offended anyone? Anyway, it doesn't really matter what the Obama administration's reaction is. I mean, and it doesn't matter how celebratory he is. All things considered, I would say that the Obama administration is on the right side. A couple of things to know about today's decision. An appeal has been filed by the supporters of the ban. They have, by supporters of Prop 8, it will be randomly assigned to a 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit. Judge Walker has issued a temporary hold on his decision pending written arguments due tomorrow. What Judge Walker does from this point forward is a little unclear. He could put a hold on his decision pending that 3-judge panel's appeal, and then it could go en banc to the entire Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and they could put it on hold until it gets to the Supreme Court. So there may not be... if it even goes to the Supreme Court, there may not be any gay marriages allowed right away and for some time, or Judge Walker could get those arguments and say, no, I'm not putting it on hold. My order stands right now, and gay and lesbian couples in California could start getting married immediately, as he would essentially be revoking the implementation of Proposition 8. Judge Walker, Vaughn Walker, accepted every argument that David Boies and Ted Olson made, quote, methodically rejecting from the Associated Press every claim made by Protect Marriage. That was the coalition of religious and moral groups. He's saying that it does nothing to strengthen, to sum up, nothing to strengthen heterosexual unions, serves no purpose to justify its discriminatory effect, does not hurt children of same-sex couples, and does nothing to further the state's interest in inequality. I like that there was an argument made in stressing the state's interest in inequality. No, we have a vested interest in this inequality, and if you could judge, let me explain why. One of the quotes here that I love from Judge Walker, which we didn't get to yesterday, and obviously a lot of what's come out in the last day is people reading an opinion that they hadn't fully read. It's 136 or 138 pages. Judge Walker says that, quote, animus toward gays and lesbians, or simply a belief that a relationship between a man and a woman is inherently better, this belief is not a proper basis on which to legislate. So, in case you missed that if you're driving, hating gays and lesbians or simply believing that guys who are with girls is better, not good enough to pass a law. So hating gays and lesbians and thinking girls and dudes is better, don't care. Doesn't make any difference. Then there's the issue of, as I mentioned, whether he should grant a stay, and it's actually an interesting legal issue, which I will now proceed to bore you with. No, but it's actually not boring, so just bear with me for a brief moment. He's got two options. He can place a hold on it, not implementing his decision, essentially granting a stay of implementation, or he can just go ahead and say, nope, that's it, the opinion goes through. The issue here is that the Ninth Circuit, if he doesn't grant the stay, the Ninth Circuit would probably agree with him and allow it being this three-judge panel, and it being and currently the three-judge panel sitting this month is known to be a fairly liberal three-judge panel. So if he says no, go ahead, ban Prop 8 and allow gay marriages, my opinion stands. Odds are that three-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit would let that stand. But then the Prop 8 supporters would immediately appeal that decision, the failure to grant a stay, to the Supreme Court, and it would go right to Justice Anthony Kennedy, who would then probably, rather than ruling on it himself, would refer the matter to the full court. Well, it's the middle of the summer. They're in summer recess. So he would feel like, I got to get all these guys involved in the middle of the summer, and that would expedite this process along, and Kennedy would feel the enormous pressure of time. Now, the upside to this is that gay people could get married, but if you're thinking long term, since the entire case, in the minds of some, should it reach the Supreme Court, rests with Justice Anthony Kennedy. We're going to talk about this with Dan Hamilton coming up. But Kennedy has cast the deciding vote in Romer versus Evans in 1996, which rejected the anti-gay ballot initiative in Colorado, and also the Lawrence versus Texas, which struck down the Texas anti-sodomy law. He is seen as the critical fifth vote in this, presuming that Elena Kagan, who, by the way, was confirmed to the United States Supreme Court today. Nobody cares. I mean, no one's interested. I assume people care. It's a story that's going to get buried. Essentially, there are those who believe, and we'll talk about this shortly with our expert, but there are those who believe that Judge Walker's opinion was crafted almost solely for Anthony Kennedy. He cited opinions and direct lines taken from Anthony Kennedy at least 15 different times, citing those two cases that I mentioned, Romer and Lawrence. 15 times, those are relevant cases pertaining to gay rights, where Kennedy cast very specific opinions and the deciding votes. And this was a very well-reasoned opinion by Judge Walker. He, for all the talk about how he talked about, for all the moral talk and the ethical talk, he broke this down scientifically and witness by witness, and attacked this on an evidentiary and structural basis. And the idea is, according to many legal scholars, most legal scholars, in many ways, is that he tailored this opinion for Anthony Kennedy. So the idea is, if you do hold the opinion, if you don't allow this to be implemented, what you're saying, again, to Anthony Kennedy is, hey, I'm not putting the pressure on you this summer. I'm not saying call the entire Supreme Court here. I know that the reputation that Kennedy has, that many court members do, of course, is to take your time. This is a huge piece of, this is a huge social moment that where the judges who vote for it are going to get accused of being activist judges, even though it strikes me that the ruling under the Supreme Court, under the Constitution, is incredibly clear. But take your time, and odds are then, in the long run, You get affirmed by the Ninth Circuit, and if it goes to the Supreme Court, Anthony Kennedy has taken his time, and he's had time to make sure that he solidifies his 4 other colleagues, which, again, if they have him, one would think could be done, not knowing exactly how Elena Kagan would vote. So take the pressure off. And if you're thinking big picture, yeah, it prevents gay and lesbian couples from getting married in California right now, but they haven't been able to for 2 years. And the idea is, long term, this is a major piece of civil rights. This is a major moment in civil rights history. And why put the enormous pressure on it now when you know that 2 more courts are going to rule on it? And you think you've given a very sound, reasoned opinion that'll work with the Ninth Circuit and then work with this specific judge whose vote is critical to upholding your decision. And like every other state court judge, like every other federal court judge in the country, Judge Vaughn Walker, nobody wants to be overturned. And clearly, this, in all likelihood, the biggest moment of his career, and he doesn't want to be overturned in any way on this key piece, on this key opinion. Okay, when we come back, Dan Hamilton, he is a constitutional law expert, also a legal history professor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, and we'll find out sort of some significant parts of this case that maybe were overlooked from a legal point of view, and also, since he is a professor of legal history, where this fits in the panorama of legal history, how significant opinion this is, and we'll talk about that idea of appealing directly to Anthony Kennedy. So stay with us. We'll come back on the Young Turks. Also later in the show, Pat Buchanan, Michael Savage, Rush Limbaugh saying things that, of course, you expected, you knew was coming, but you still won't believe in many ways. Young Turks.